we'll start with United. I'll give a little spiel here.
Yeah.
It's 3 players that directly fit the system in a team that didn't score enough goals. And then they picked a guy that they've been scouting for a long time, which that actually goes for Sesko and Lemons, or however you pronounce it. And they went with the idea of a project because this is what this summer is. It's what the team is. I know they didn't get the midfielder. I know that's going to bring down our rating as a whole. But I feel for myself this is an 8 window for United. And it comes down to the idea that you gave the manager pieces that he needed. They didn't do anything for him in the winter. And I actually look at all 4 of these signings and I go, they make sense. It's not this, let's stick a round peg in a square hole. Let's get guys that work in a system or later might go in a different system. But the 2 most important pieces on the field, I think, to quote Conte, are the goalie and the striker, because you can always, I think he said something along the lines of, you can always mess up a marriage, but you can't mess up a striker and a goalie because it'll always come back to haunt you. They spent a fuck ton of cash. They spent a fuck ton of cash on 2 Premier League proven guys, a project, or in 2 projects in a season where United are probably going to have ups and downs. So I'm high on the incomings.
I think 4 out of the 5 positions that you needed addressed were addressed. Based off that, say like 80%. It's like a B. I don't know. I just think that that deeper midfielder was super important though, and they missed out on that. So that lowers it for me. But I do agree with you that all the incomings have been fantastic.
Yeah, I think I think it's gotten lost in the length of the transfer window is the idea that wasn't priority 1. Like, we all looked at United last season and went, I think they can be all right if they don't get a midfielder, but if they get some attacking talent, then they can actually compete a little bit. Because last year they scored 40-something goals. Just wasn't good enough. They haven't scored, I don't think they've scored 50 goals in like 2 or 3 seasons now. Maybe the first year with Ten Hag. But it's been way too long with not enough attacking talent. To where I'm at this point, I'm content with the idea that we don't have a midfielder. I think it's going to be our undoing, and it's going to be why it's going to go like this all season. But in January, they can right that wrong. And if they feel that Carlos Baleba is that guy and they're willing to wait that out, I think that just goes to the idea of what this is, which is a project. And if you rank a player that highly and you don't want to miss out on him, you're not going for a stopgap right now, because that directly
defeats the purpose.
Yeah, it does. That's what they did with you.
Kind of to my discussion with blocking pathways and whatnot, I think you're at a much earlier stage, obviously, but you have to keep that eye out where it's like, what are we competing for this year? The FA Cup. That is all you're competing for this year, right?
Yep.
So why would you panic and get Emmy on deadline day? It doesn't make sense.
Nope.
I think it's better to not do any business at all than notoriously a team who panics, throws a lot of money at something, and hope it fixes it. What's there to fix? I think it's a very important distinction. So is Layman's underwhelming as a name? Yeah. So what? What's the pressure? What are they playing in? They're literally playing 1 game a week until January. Like, I don't think there's any rush to go bring in some guy, this or that. And to your point, Dylan, Layman's has been being scouted by United for years. He's a data darling, right? All the analytics say he's top. Okay, yeah, I think that makes sense. And, Baleba's not available this year. Okay, we'll finish 8th and then get him next year, right? Like, what's that going to hurt? Oh, no, let's go get someone else to compete with Ugarte and Casemiro, who will both be on the books next year. Yeah. So I do think that is important. Some business not being done is better than panicking and getting it wrong. So I do think it's important, but outgoings hurt you a little bit. Garnacho, you probably got less than what you should have gotten for him or could have gotten in January. But at the end of the day, it's still good business. It's pure profit. It had to be done. Yeah. So all things considered, good job. Anthony, you got a fee. It's done. To what Mila was saying with Newcastle, forget it ever happened. Move on. A lot of wages off the books. I think that's important. They didn't get many fees, but a lot of wages are off the books. They're not giving Cunha $400,000 a week or anything ridiculous. It steps in the right direction. You're building the foundation. What rating am I going to give this?
I'll give a final point. Is we had gone into the summer and we were looking at the bomb squad. None of us thought that United were going to be able to get rid of all of them. United got rid of all of them except for Malacia, who's the only one I really didn't care about.
Well, Rashford's gone. You can reintegrate him.
Well, according to the reports coming out of Spain, they want to give him back after 3 matches. Maybe it's because he is a different skin color and is British, and that's
that was her. Yeah, that's not. Yeah, it's insane.
Ridiculous stuff.
I didn't pay any mind to that. Yeah. What am I gonna rate it? I don't know. It's just so hard because there's so much context. I think you made really good points, Dylan, with like, given where this team's at right now, you know exactly where these guys are gonna play. What I'm starting to take into account and maybe clouding my judgment is Amarim there in 2 months, 3 months? So I'm not even going to think like that. In terms of where they're at right now, what they needed to do, and how it helps set them up for the future, safe 6. That's where I'm going to go.
6. Where are you at, Mila?
I'm a 6. I'm also 6.
Okay. I'm going to stick it at a 6.5 because I was an 8.